morning to all of you. It's really wonderful to be back here in Bangkok and representing InDesign Media Asia Pacific at this important first Asian edition of the Real Estate Development Summit. As your summit chairperson, I look forward to shepherding you through 2 valuable days of discussion about the state of the real estate industry, trends in the market, the impact of world events and national policies, supply and demand, and of course the considerable challenges that we face in terms of the development and resilience of our cities at this time. The event organiser, GBB Venture, has assembled a powerful lineup of speakers, I'm sure you're aware, from the real estate and architecture industries, and their discussions will be buoyed by opportunities to discover the latest products from around the region and from further afield. Today's program will focus on market issues, with introductory statements and updates followed by panel discussions about the dynamics at play in Asian real estate, as well as issues tied to supply and demand. There'll be opportunities for you to join the discussion with questions taken from the audience toward the close of each panel. So do keep a mental note of your queries. The panel sessions will be interspersed by short presentations from regional product companies and a networking lunch. The lunch will be served on this floor in the Platinum Hall, which is just out through those doors and behind another set of doors behind the registration desk. But please take note, you must wear your lanyard for entry into the Platinum Hall for lunch. The ladies' washrooms are on this floor, gents are on level 2. After lunch today and the second panel discussion, it will be time for you all to do the talking. So I hope you've brought your best smiles and your introductory lines with you, because we're going to be having a speed dating networking session this afternoon. But fear not, we're not out to forge any new romances here, although you never know. But it's just simply an opportunity to give you the chance to get to know who you'll be spending the next couple of days with. Who knows what you could meet, who you could meet and what could come from it, professionally speaking, of course. So here's how the speed dating will work. You'll assemble into 2 lines, and this will happen over there on that side of the hall. The people in one line will stand stationary in their positions, and the people in the other line will progress along from person to person. Every 30 seconds, a bell will ring to indicate that it's time to move forward to the next person. So it's basically about a very quick way to make introductions, get to know who's in the room. But don't worry, there'll be plenty more time tonight and tomorrow to talk further. So don't forget after lunch to have a mint and get your most impressive lines ready to introduce yourself to people. Speed dating is at 2:20 today. After that, there'll be some face-to-face meetings this afternoon as well. These are the pre-scheduled meetings that will run according to the personal schedules that you've all been given during registration. Each meeting between a buyer and a supplier will last for 20 minutes, and yes, that is just a tad longer than you'll have in the speed dating. All the meeting tables are marked with numbers and company names. The suppliers will remain stationed at their tables, and the buyers just need to follow their personal schedules, keep to the time limits, and be at the right table at the right time. Tonight, we look forward to seeing you at the Gala Cocktail Dinner, which will also be held in the Platinum Hall, where you'll be having lunch today. Please remember you'll also need to wear your lanyard for entry into dinner, so don't leave it upstairs in your room. The dinner will be a really good opportunity to continue any of the discussions that might have been cut short by time today. After a good sleep tonight, we'll be starting bright and early tomorrow morning with registration open from 8:30 a.m. and the first presentation starting at 9:20. You don't want to be late because this session will be a very valuable update on the latest developments in the hospitality industry. And we'll hear from 2 of the region's leading designers and architects about their work before another round of the pre-scheduled meetings. After lunch tomorrow, we'll dive into the portfolios and minds of some of the leading architects from the region before we close the summit with what I think is going to be a very intriguing panel discussion about global and local design. And isn't that an appropriate topic for Asia? Now, over the course of a couple of days, if you have any logistical questions at any point, please do look for the team from GBB Venture. They'll be wearing black lanyards. If you'd like to post to social media during the summit, tag the Twitter account GBB Venture and use the hashtag RedAsia2019, which is listed at the bottom of your agenda sheet. And it goes without saying, of course, please do set your beeping devices to silent for the duration of the proceedings. So that's the housekeeping done. So now I'd like to just engage you quickly with some big picture thinking for a moment. Looking into the real estate industry as I do from its fringes in the regional and regional architecture and design media, it is clear that there's a spectrum of issues that we all need to grapple with, whether we're developers, architects or designers. The recent editions of our Asia-focused magazine Cubes and its sister digital sites InDesignLive.sg and InDesignLive.hk provide clear windows onto some of those issues. In our articles, we've looked at things like the threat of submersion here in Bangkok and the potential for landscape architects to innovate in terms of managing water on city sites. We've explored the desire for location-specific identity in hotel design, as well as the tussle of needs and wants that comes with the range of age groups staying in hotels, be that for more technology, for less technology, for wellness as an immediately accessible element of the guest experience, or for scarcity as a form of luxury. We've looked at the new demands of commercial real estate and the shift to core and flex models in the face of the incredible growth of co-working in Asia. And we've looked at the richness and challenge of adaptive reuse, the wide variety of attitudes towards built heritage in our region, even within single cities, and I know that well coming from Singapore. We've had veteran architects telling us about the cycles of development through the decades, material import and production, political turbulence, shifting developer attitudes in Asia. And we've found out inspiring stories about the reinvention of traditional approaches to building, despite the rush toward development of global appeal in Asia. There are some copies of Cubes magazines here on the table at the back of the hall. You are welcome to take them. So to be sure, Asia is really a region of astounding diversity, as well as a lot of challenges tied to rapid urbanisation, climate change, regulatory contexts, and the imperatives of technology. And we see all of these emerging also regionally in our Indie Awards program, which is the Indo-Pacific's first whole region award program for architecture and design. And we've got the privilege of accepting entries across a range of categories, recognising buildings as well as spaces for a lot of types of design: residential, workplace, education, retail, wellness, social pursuits, and objects, as well as designers, be they young or established. And these come from the full geographic width of our region, stretching from India to Japan and from China to Australia and New Zealand. And similarly to the threads of exploration that emerge through our publishing activity, the Indie Awards reveal the very particular currents that dominate in our region's various countries. For example, this year's winners revealed, among other things, the potential for the reinvention of Singapore's public housing stock, the contextual sensitivity and formal elegance that's possible through the readoption of traditional materials like brick in the Sydney CBD, and the potential for workplace to be reimagined as a dynamic and evolving space that welcomes the community. This year will mark the 20th anniversary of InDesign Media with a retrospective attitude within the Indie Awards, and will honour the workspace and the living space of the decade alongside our regular award categories. And I expect that we're going to see some varied responses to things such as sustainable design, which would surely present drastically differently for projects from 2010 compared to those from 2020. So against this rapidly shifting context, our discussions here today at the Real Estate Development Summit Asia are going to unfold, and there's a lot for professionals working in real estate to grapple with and to debate, and our 2 days here together are the perfect opportunity to do so. So I challenge all of you to engage thoughtfully with the presentations and panel discussions, keep top of mind the issues that you're grappling with in your work, raise questions and tap on the experiences of your industry colleagues from around the region for a meaningful dialogue. We've got delegates here from Thailand, Singapore, Hong Kong, Malaysia, Indonesia, India, Sri Lanka, Bangladesh, Vietnam, and the Philippines. And that's a really great, rich opportunity to learn from each other. This summit is all about arming you with the latest market intelligence, the right business network, and the right products and resources. So I wish you all an insightful and rewarding 2 days.